But anyway, the night of the Pearl Harbor that they bombed us, the next morning rather, I saw these bombs coming out, and then we decided, all the companies have what they call bivouac areas, that in a case of an emergency, all the soldiers assembled there. So I looked at my footlocker and I saw a card, a postcard with a stamp on it, and right in the middle of the bombing, whatever was going on, we had a mailbox right out in front of the barracks, and I wrote on there to my mama. I said, "Mama, I'm all right," because I know she'd be worried to death about me. So anyway, I found out later that in 3 weeks she got that card, and of course they'd already bombed us and gone by then.
But this was in the. Was the bombing over when you wrote that card?
No, his bombing's going on.
How did you know you were all right?
Well, I was just hoping I would be.
Yeah.
I wanted to relieve her.
Right, sure. You were totally shocked by the attack, right?
I was completely shocked. My company commander, a fellow by the name of Murphy, Lieutenant Murphy. See, I was company clerk, and I rode with him to get the payroll and different things we had to do. And he said to me right out of the air, he says, "Paul, do you think the Japanese would be foolish enough to attack us here in Hawaii?" I said, "No, sir, I don't think they." I said, "Too much water in between here and there. I don't know how they could get up in a monitor together to get to with all the planes we've got here." But they did. And anyway, that was the first. I hadn't even thought about such a thing. Well, about 2 weeks before the bombing, we had one of the dignitaries come through Hawaii from Japan. And we went out to put on a full dress parade for him. Well, if you'd have had any thought at all, it had left you there. And we were just, and like I saw somewhere in the news one day where this general, Japanese general, said, we've awakened a sleeping giant.
Yeah.
And he did.
What else do you remember about the attack itself? Just the destruction that you saw.
Well, they were just bombing and strafing all over the island. If you got out of, even the civilians, they were strafing them. But when you got out in the open, you were free bait. They'd get you. One of the things that really scared me when the bomb first went off, and I got up and saw there was a bomb. We went down to we kept all our rifles. We didn't have any heavy machine guns, just rifles and pistols, and they kept our guns in the supply room. So we went downstairs and drew out our rifles, and we went outside. We wanted to see what was going on. We thought we might get a pot shot on the pilots, but that thought changed pretty quick. There was about 25 or 30 of us there, and we only had one door going into our barracks from the side that we were on, and it was in between two other buildings. And I looked up, and here comes a fighter plane with all of his machine guns going wide open. And so I started to move back towards the building, and I was standing on the concrete pavement around the building there, and I got about 8 or 10 feet in, and where I was standing, he was cutting loose with those machine guns. It was if I'd have known this Japanese fighter pilot, I'd have recognized him. He was that low, And anyway, he turned all of those machine guns on and ripped up all the concrete and stuff around us there, but he didn't get any of us. So, but we tried to put another door in that side of that building, and because it was hard for 30 people to get through that door at the same time.
Did you think you were going to die? I mean, how
I thought all the time we wasn't going to make it because we had absolutely no defense other than the few planes that got up, and every time one would get up, they'd shoot it down. And we went on to our bivouac area, and the fighting was over. The bombing was over at about 9:45, and they left. And we were right next door to the Signal Corps, and we knew those folks pretty well. And at that time, they were experimenting this radar, and it hadn't been proven yet. So anyway, he told us that he had been on dawn patrol that morning and reported a bunch of planes coming in. And he called whoever it was he called, and some sleepy-headed corporal or something there. And he told him, don't worry about it, that's the dawn patrol coming in. So they didn't worry about it, so we worried about it. So they...
forgive me, what did you learn, or, you know, after that experience, what was your perspective about life and how precious that is, you know?
Well, what I was worried about is I didn't have much of it left. Yeah. But it's a feeling you can't explain. We knew we had to do what we could, and we were just like shooting rats in a barrel. Going to our bivouac area, there's a road going down beside beside our building there that went to the bivouac area where we all went to assemble, and they were all over the place, strafing everybody, and but we'd get under a tree until the plane passed, and then go to another tree, until we finally all got through there safely. And but on the way down there, the airplane, one of the fighter planes of the Japanese, was, I saw there's something wrong with this plane because it wasn't revving up, it was kind of idling. And he was coming down slowly. And I looked at him for a few minutes and I said, something wrong there. He's getting too close to the ground. And he crashed and his plane exploded. But we had, we had 3 or 4 infantry regiments there too, and they're the fighters, and they had put their machine guns on the top of their buildings, and they were popping those boys pretty good there for a while, because they weren't expected them. But anyway, we got through that, and we got to the bivouac area,